space of lies. And nothing can break it up. And nothing can break it up. And nothing can break it up. And nothing can break it up.
Peppers!
And nothing can break it up.
Say, tell them, ring that bell, brother.
And nothing can break it up. We're running for the road. We're running for the road. So we're running, yeah, we're running, we're running, yeah, we're running, 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 yeah, we're running. We're ready, we're ready, we're ready.
We're ready for the road. Tell them. TikTokers, if there is a hue or a filter or an effect, let me tell you, I still learning TikTok. When I was starting this live video, the screen went red. It had a red filter on it, and I fiddle with it, and I get something that's looking like me, so I stick with that. So I teach God to fix that tomorrow. Good night to the people on Facebook. Good night to the people on Vimeo. Good night to the people on YouTube. Good night to the people on TikTok. Good night to the Twitterers and the Instagrammers. Good night to everybody on every social media platform. Good night to everybody in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider world. Good night to all my supporters, and special good night to all my haters. The anxiety must be burning out there right now because we're really ready for the road. Progressive Empowerment Party, massive. Stand tall.
This is a call to the nation.
Stand tall.
One by one, let's do it together.
Time to fix it. Time to fix it.
Standing strong to any weather. Follow the light of the PEP. Cause we could build a better place for every creed in every way. Together we can triumph over anything we face. So one by one, two by two, the PEP is here for you.
Time to mobilize. Time to fix it. Because we voted PEP. We go fix it. It's time for a change indeed. Because we voted PEP. There's one bad jam. Here's how now. Hand in hand, one people under one flag. Hey, red, white, black, green, and every shade in between. Mobilize. The PEP is here for you. You want that? If what you want is a better Trinidad and Tobago, we have an opportunity right now to send a very clear and unambiguous message to the PNM and UNC and their financial controllers, to those who pull the strings and dictate how life is lived and how we suffer in Trinidad and Tobago, the nonsense of the no rules and the uneven laws, to the people who have made that the reality of our country. It is time to fix it. And the Progressive Empowerment Party is sounding a clarion call to all those who want to live in a first world nation. Now is the time. Now is the time. Stand together. One people under one flag. If you would like to be screened as one of our 141 candidates, WhatsApp me right now. 682-2110. Say, I want to be screened to represent the Progressive Empowerment Party in Trinidad and Tobago. And you can also call or message 7968-172. But the fastest, quickest way, I will be your chief servant. Send it to me and I will make sure it gets to where it needs to go. Send it to me. Right? And before we go in too deep, I want to say a special thank you once again to the foreign-based Trinbagonians who have always, the foreign-based Trinbagonians who have been almost the lifeblood of the Progressive Empowerment Party, who always answer the clarion call. People like Denise Xavier in New York City and Anthony Sinanan in Canada. Thank you all very much. Thank you to your people, to the people who work with you all and work together with us to help us get to where we need to be. Thank you very much for all of the assistance, and to all the people in Trinidad and Tobago who dig deep and help us, who know that we're trying to avoid the contract mafia and the political speculators, those who invest with those other political parties, get them bag of money and come back and take bag of contracts to rob the country. Thank you very much for helping us avoid that trap. Tonight I want to talk about two things. Only two, three. All right, three. Make sure, three. The first one, I put up a picture from Sao, Hand Arnold, putting cones on the sides of the road, telling people they can't park there. Now, Hand Arnold reasoning sounds rational, because Hand Arnold want their trucks to be able to turn in and turn out easily. That makes sense. In fact, when I put them on blast and I said to Hand Arnold, you can't do this. And I said, this is one of the things that I look forward to fixing. This idea that big business could do what they like. So somebody came and said to me that they put that there so that the trucks could turn. I said, no, son. This is their badly designed facilities. They don't get to claim the road because they designed their entrance bad. They have to spend money and acquire proper facilities. And I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago this. Nobody nowhere outside of state agencies and for purposes such as road repair and other issues like that, because only the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service could put no parking anywhere in Trinidad. Hear me here? Hear me clear. I'm saying this unambiguous. Tonight, I am your commissioner. Tonight, I am your Minister of National Security. Tonight, I am your Attorney General. Tonight, I am your Minister of Legal Affairs. Tonight, I am your Prime Minister. And I am telling you that nobody in the country outside of state agencies for specifically outlined purposes as temporary road repairs can put cones on the public road to reserve any space. Pump your brakes. It gets better. For some people, it gets worse. But for you, it gets better. And you could tell them. Phillip Alexander, number 682-2110. If you're in doubt, call him. If you see cones outside establishments reserving the public passageway for anybody private, those cones are now a gift to you. If I put my fridge on the side of the road and somebody pass and pick up the fridge and go, and I go by the police and say, my fridge was on the side of the road and somebody take my fridge, they say, well, why was your fridge on the side of the road? If I put my couch on the side of the road and somebody pass and take my couch and I go to the police and I say, they take my couch. The police say, where was your couch? It was on the side of the road. Why was your couch on the side of the road? We have no jurisdiction. To anybody who picking up your couch, they thought it was garbage. They thought you didn't want it. They thought you were throwing it away. Once you put something on the side of the road and abandon it, it is for anybody to come and take up. That is why all them loose girls get take up from the side of the road and go on dates, because the man leave them on the side of the road. That's a joke for another time. Come back to the cones. When they come outside and put down cones, you pass and say, thank you very much. I always wanted cones. Pick them up, put them in your trunk. They can't come outside and say, hey, that is my cones. No, sir. No, ma'am. I found these cones in the drain, in the road. It can't belong to you because this is not your road. Worse or better, anytime you pass and you want to park and you see those cones, I remember I pull up on Arapita Avenue and I wanted to park and go and get doubles. So I was trying to fit between some cones. The security guard come and say, hey, you can't park there. I said, why? He said, reserved. I said, you know who it reserved for? He said, no. I said, reserved for me. He said, oh, sorry, sir. And he let me park. But that is the truth. If you see cones blocking a space on the road where you need to park, thank the person who put the cones for blessing you with that spot. I am saying to you again, unambiguously, clearly, and somebody wanted to tell me that my son's establishment puts out cones too. The same applies. See? Not a hypocrite. I tell him, I'm telling you, this is the law of the land. You are not allowed to reserve the public road for yourself. Now, when we were on Stanmore Avenue and we were going to do a big Diwali light up on Stanmore Avenue with bamboo on both sides of the road, we called the police and we asked the police to put no parking signs on Stanmore Avenue for that evening so that we could come and do our display. I got 7 different steps of 7 different police departments that I had to go through to get that permission until I got permission and they came and they put down no parking signs on both sides of Stanmore Avenue and they told us when they were coming back for it. That's how it's done. I can't go and get cones and put on cones like my name is Stanmore. We clear? Tell me if we clear. If we ain't clear, I could crystallize it better. When I tell you, I love to bounce up people who have an over-exaggerated sense of their own self-importance because I'm good at dismantling that. I want to give you some of my power. I want to hand it to you tonight. I want you to keep my number. I want you to take a live video. If anybody come to stress you or pressure you, tell them I know Phillip Edward Alexander and he told me that if I see a cone on the road, it have no owner. If I don't see the Ministry of Works or somebody else around doing some kind of work, then that means those cones have been thrown away. They've been abandoned. The owners of those cones do not want them anymore, and you can help yourself. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that anybody of any hue, of any height, weight, length, breadth, depth, any last name, you know who I is? See them? Especially them. Especially those I love to play this with. You see, you know who I is, people? Them. Because the law of the land is clear. And unless they change the law for you, unless there's a special law in your last name that I didn't know was proclaimed, and you can refer me to it and guide me to the laws of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, chapter and verse, if you cannot, stand down, son, because you are breaking the law. And I don't have to call the police. This is the public road. If you're not going to move your cones, I'm going to drive over your cones and park on it. Hear me? And if there's another story for another time. But I'm telling you this, they are not allowed to do it. It is against the law. They cannot tell you. So Hand Arnold in Sawa and St. Augustine Hospital, y'all are breaking the law. If the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service wants to give you a no parking zone, apply to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, knowing full and well that the people could go to the regional corporation and complain about you as a business establishment and have you shut down. Yes, that's the law. That's the law. They can ask you to relocate your business. You are a nuisance to the community. You know that? That's what the court is for. The court is for that. It's to keep the peace between people. And Hand Arnold can show up and bill and decide that they need more space than they paid for. No, sir. Neither can the St. Augustine Hospital. If the St. Augustine Hospital opens somewhere where the parking doesn't work for them, they have choices. But none of those choices includes putting down cones and claiming the public road. You see what I used to say by 51 degrees? I used to tell them my name is 52 degrees. I park in here area all them fancy big shot players that used to think that they know more and better. They know more and better for people who suffer with a PNM education. But I went on to further mine. And one of the best ways to further your education, to become a critical thinker, is to unlearn the bullshit that the PNM teacher, Massa Day, really done. It had done PNM way, but it done. And there's no better way for you to see that for yourself than the Progressive Empowerment Party becoming your government. If you made the Progressive Empowerment Party your government, I, Philip Edward Alexander, give you my word that we would level the playfield and make sure that everybody from Beetham to Bayshore enjoy the same rights under all state and under all law. I give you my word. And if there's one thing people could tell you about me, I am a son of a bitch. And if there is something else they could tell you, let's keep my word. Even to my dismay sometimes, I keep my word. And I want you to know that. And I want you to be clear about that. The reason I stand up for the things I stand up for, that no other politician has ever stood up for. And plenty of people at the bottom rung of society, where the mass of people live at, 800, 900,000, a million of our 1.4 million, live at the absolute bottom of society and feel unrepresented, feel like nobody cares, feel like all them state agency and government office and everything is not for them. But I want to tell you it is. It is specifically for you. Government's job is to make sure that there is no small and big. Government job is to treat everybody as one people. There's a reason the statue that represents justice is blind, is blindfolded. She mustn't even see who she represented. She mustn't even see who coming in front of her. Whoever you are as citizen of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, you should have the same rights and privileges in the bank, in the business place, in the store, going to buy a house, trying to get a loan, going to report somebody that sell you a bad something, going and complain about the bar that next door that playing music till 8 o'clock in the morning, noon and night. All of those things, the regional corporation that don't clean the drain, they don't clean the road, they don't fix the pavement, the Ministry of Works that don't fix the road in front of your house, the pothole damage in your car, all of that, all of it. The Progressive Empowerment Party wants to come and remove the obstacles that make some people feel that they are better than others in society. That is a lie that we need to disabuse and rubbish quickly. And again, you need to vote a lion into office, not a jackass who will tell you, nothing wrong with the rich getting richer, you know. And you know what? Nothing is wrong with the rich getting richer, as long as the poor getting richer too. And I've said to Trinidad and Tobago repeatedly, we must stop judging Trinidad and Tobago by how well the 1% doing. We need to judge Trinidad and Tobago by how well the 99% doing. If our middle class is shrinking and our working class is suffering, the government is failing. And it is time to fix that. Not with bullshit, not with stunt artists coming to lie to you, not saying my daddy was a prime minister so make me one too. None of that nonsense. What you need are servants, people who understand, people who will roll up their sleeves and get down in the trenches and fight for you. And I have been doing that 3 decades now at my expense for free. Okay? And I want to tell you something. The Progressive Empowerment Party, you see that E? Empowerment. Don't let them tell you that there is a better plan or policy anywhere in any other political party. That E is for everybody. That E empowers every single person. A Progressive Empowerment Party government will create a second chance foundation that will change the lives of even the homeless. We will reserve seated positions in state agencies. Jobs that require you to sit all day should be reserved for people in wheelchairs because they are already sitting. Handicapped people and disabled people are perfectly capable of doing more than most people, the bright and the able. Don't watch the fact that they can't walk and think that they can't think. And we want to make sure that the Trinidad and Tobago that all of us want for us and ourselves and for our loved ones excludes nobody. We clear about the cones? Because all of you who go in and buy cones in the hardware thinking that you can reserve space outside, Philip Edward Alexander has told the nation that you can't. The same way Philip Edward Alexander put car thieves on notice that Trinidadians can go and buy little tags, air tags, they have Samsung tags, they have Android tags. If you want, I tell you this, nothing works better than a Mac. All my 3 phones that I'm looking into right now are Macs. The computer that I have here is a Mac. This is my second MacBook. My first MacBook is 15 years old. I still have it. We just haven't bothered to change the battery and I buy a new one. But I'm telling you, it's still going good and I can plug it in and turn it on. So the Mac tag, I can tell you, you can lose that in your car for a year and change. And when I say losing, people say, well, you tell the bandits where to look. That is jackassery. Bandits don't have time to take your car apart looking for tags. They're not in that business. People say, well, when they take the car down in the bush, the last known place of location, before it stopped pinging, you will know that. But bandits not thieving car to take it down in the bush. Bandits thieving car to take it where they have chop shops and all them have iPhone in their pocket. And that is what's sending the information to you where your vehicle is. And I know I have tracked suitcases around the world with that little air tag. Okay? I know it works. I sat down in Trinidad knowing where my suitcase was. All around the world. So when I tell you, it need this and can't do that and da. Tell them, hey, shh. When Phillip do a video, it is instructed, it is intelligent. If you're going to debunk it, come with fact. Because he'll come back at you and kick you in your intellectual teeth. I want to tell you something. When I tell you, one of the places that you could put it, you have to take the time to take down the glove compartment in your car. Take it down completely and then with a piece of duct tape, take a piece of duct tape, put the air tag on it and feel around inside. When I tell you lost it, this is what I mean. Feel around inside there somewhere and find a crevice and stick it in the crevice and stick it. So you could never go back and find it again and they could never ever. Fine. Go inside the trunk. Open the part, you know, that unscrew and lift off the thing, and then you have to unscrew and take out the spare to get to the jack, and you have to open the jack. When you open the jack, put it inside the jack and close back the jack. Put it back where it's supposed to be and put back everything. Open the lights, the tail lights. Some cars you can open the tail lights to change the bulb. Open the light, put it inside of there. Open the panels inside the trunk and drop it down inside the wheel well. As I'm literally telling you, lost the air tag. Yeah? I put bandits on notice. I told Trinidadians for 400, 500 less, you could have tags in your car. And if somebody take your car, you could direct the police to get it. Lock them up. And if you could get that happen, if you get them charged, that is a murder, because most of the cars that are stolen in Trinidad at gunpoint are being stolen to commit drive-by shootings, robberies, and murders. If we could stop car theft, we could stop murder and home invasion and robbery. Okay? So all of you who have a car, Gordon's number, I gave you all his number. Don't call Gordon if you don't want to buy an air tag. I'm telling you, you have to have an Apple device. If you don't have an Apple device, Gordon number is 682 iMac. 682 or 684? Give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry about that. G-O-R-D. And the reason I tell people Gordon, 684 iMac. So you understand it's Apple. But Gordon Gonzalez is one of those rare people who is a wizard. Gordon is a code writer. There is nothing in a Mac machine that Gordon doesn't understand. No app, no phone, no iPad. Gordon builds networks. Gordon writes programs. Gordon wrote the code for the Lotto Tracker program. The man is brilliant. He wrote the code that ran Caribbean Online Yellow Pages for 30 years. The man is brilliant. So if you call Gordon Gonzalez at 684 iMac, don't waste the man time. He don't have time to waste. And you're blocking people who need his help. If you don't have an iPhone or an iMac or an iPad, my phone actually says Phillip Alexander's MacBook Pro 2. That's what it says. And I didn't know that was the name because I have a MacBook Pro. Anyway, because it's showing that now. You want me to show you? What if I could? Nah, it's strapping. Okay. But you could call other places and get other tags. And then, stop being cheap. You have a multi-$100,000 vehicle. They have other things you could buy, even more effective than that. Do your part. Be able to track your car so that once they take the car, you could get police to where the car stop. At some point, that car going to stop. They're going to park it up somewhere and they're going to feel safe. Send the police there. Don't go behind the car when the car driving. Not helping nobody. Let them park up and feel safe. Go inside and make their kiss bread and sardine sandwich. And while they're eating, police must show up. Yeah? Who in charge of that car outside? That's what you need. That's what we need to do. If all of us do that, take care of our business, you will see how all of a sudden the country starts to work. The government are doing it, the police are doing it, the Ministry of National Security are asleep at the wheel. So you know, get a device. There are plenty of people. There is a place on Diego Martin Main Road right after La Puerta called Chrism. The fellow named Christian Bourne. Christian Bourne could tell you about devices to put in your car where you can't change the gear. The car on, you can't change the gear. You can't move it out of gear. The man, he's the next man that's brilliant. If I tell you, call somebody, trust me, that is the best person in Trinidad for you to call for that. Christian Bourne could guide you. He's at Chrism. No, I don't have his number right now. But he is on Diego Martin Main Road right after La Puerta. So you can't miss it. Once you pass Westbees and La Puerta, you buy Christian Bourne, Chrism, C-R-I-S-M. Coming back to what I was saying. If you have an iPhone, call Gordon Gonzalez at 684-IMAC and tell him I want an AirTag. He's sold out completely since I did my video, but he's ordering more and he has more coming. Get yourself on the next list. I'm saying to you, if you have an iPhone, tell him you want an iPhone too or iPad, because you should be switching to something that works. I'm telling you this. I used to have Dell machines and Windows machines, and I used to like all the fanciness and the speaker system and thing, and I used to boast. But you know what I don't miss? Switching to Mac about 15 years ago, you know what I have never had to do? I've never had to debug. I've never had to look for any viruses. I've never had those problems. I bought something called a time machine, which you literally is just an app, and then you jack it in, and your entire computer, the entirety of it is saved and dated. Now you can do that on the cloud. But I'm saying you can have a time machine too, because you could set it to save, but I guess you could do that on the cloud. But I'm just telling you, that when I bought that MacBook, I didn't know how much it was going to save me. It is more expensive than any of those IBM clones. It is more expensive. But it is so much cheaper because it lasted me 15 years. I wore down 2 or 3 batteries. I wore down 2 trackpads. I had to change half my keyboard. I changed a screen twice. But the MacBook, if you see it, and it made out of steel and aluminum, and the thing still looked like a showroom. No joke. They could sell you what they want, and you could buy what you want. And I used to be a jackass too, so I understand. I used to be in Gordon Gonzalez's office, because we do business with a lot of things. And I used to be in Gordon Gonzalez's office with my Mac, my Dell. And he used to laugh at me, and he used to tell me, one day you will change the Apple and you'll understand. And that's the most you could do for non-Apple users. You tell them one day you will understand. You see, iPhone changed phones. All the rest of them came and copied iPhone. All the Samsung and the LG and all those things still. Huawei and all them nonsense had to come and follow the trail that Apple blazed. iPod, iTunes. iTunes changed the music industry. iTunes changed how you buy music. I used to go to Just CDs in Long Circular Mall and flip through CDs to buy CDs. iTunes changed it. Yeah, Napster changed that we could download music. Fine. But you shouldn't be able to just download music for free, as much as I liked that as a youngster. But if you don't pay the people who are writing the music, why will they be bothered to write music? And then the whole world will be McDonald's and cheap food. And every now and then you want something good and decent and nice. Yeah? Anyway, 684-IMAC. It's 4622. Call Gordon and said, I would like to buy an AirTag. I have my Apple device and I want to hook it up and fix myself and go about my business. And don't buy 1, buy 5. Put it in things that matter. Put it in your wife handbag and your children's school bag. Those things, I tell you something, once you see tracking becomes pervasive, a lot of crimes, they gotta change where they're going to commit crime. Another story, for another time. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the presiding officer in the Tobago House of Assembly. Woman, you're shame. And this is a country that have Keith Rowley, Carl Membert, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Reginald Armour, Foster Cummins, Shamfa Kojo. This is a country that have some of the most illiterate politicians, the most bumbling jackasses. And you, Madam Presiding Officer THA, you shame your whole family. You shame yourself. You shame the world. You shame whatever school you went to. You shame the political party that you're a part of. Watson Duke, on his feet in the THA, said, we are not going to be pussyfooting any longer. And Madam heard the word pussy, and it triggered her. And because Madam probably didn't learn in school that pussyfooting is an actual term that refers to how cats walk so silently that you don't hear them. It's called, and there's a saying, stop pussyfooting about. So Watson was correct. Madam Presiding Officer shoot up and say, we will not be having that kind of language in here. Because she didn't understand. And it's okay to not understand, but it is not okay to not understand and be the presiding officer and wield that kind of power. People who are not qualified intellectually to hold a job shouldn't have a job. You wouldn't fly in a plane being flown by a pilot who gets scared every time a bird flies by. You wouldn't go and have surgery with a doctor who said, well, I kind of know what I'm doing, I'll follow it on Facebook. You wouldn't. Why would we have a presiding officer dressed up looking the part who doesn't understand basic English? Pussyfooting. You don't know what pussyfooting means? You made Watson Duke apologize for using a word that is not in any way offensive. You've broken the law. You've broken your own standing orders. The presiding officer, the THA, should be disciplined. She should be admonished. She should be fired. What other words does she not know that will trigger her? That she will think, if somebody says they planted a beautiful pussy willow in their garden, will she have a problem with that? Is everything that has the word pussy in it going to trip her? Madam Presiding Officer, invest in a dictionary. If somebody says something, say, stand by. Google the shit out of it. But don't make yourself look like a fool, which you did. And Watson Duke is powerless in the THA. He had to withdraw. Imagine you having a conversation and you said, I had a hamburger for lunch. And the presiding officer said, we will not be using that word in here. Withdraw hamburger. But why? I am the absolute authority. And if I don't want you to say hamburger, you can't. Watson Duke, to continue to enjoy the fruits of democracy, had to withdraw pussyfooting. Now tell me, if I didn't wake up in jackass land, and there is nowhere that I am aware of that you could go and report the presiding officer for making a foolish mistake and overstepping her authority. Madam Presiding Officer, you owe Watson Duke an apology, as well as the entire THA, and you should get to step in and make your apology heartfelt. You need to stand up and say, I apologize for my stupidity, for the limits of my knowledge and my failure to use the technology that puts Google and Yahoo and other search engines at my fingertips, that I could literally have Googled pussyfooting and realized that it was an actual term, not offensive. It was used long before, hundreds of years, millennia before humans started to refer to a woman's vagina as a pussy. Okay? Buller Street was named Buller Street before bullying was a thing. Well, bullying was a thing, but before it was called bullying. So the poor people who have houses on Buller Street in Woodbrook don't know what to do. If they should apply to have a name change. And then they need to be careful what they change it to, or who they change it from. But that's another story for another time. The local government election has been announced. Bang, alang, 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 alang. The bell has been rung. The writ has been read. The party, the country has been readied. Set on fire with just enough time for it to be legal. Not enough time for it to be sensible. But I want the PNM to know that little cuttass we give in DB South, we coming to give a big cuttass nationally. Trinidadians waiting to send a message. And they don't want to send a yellow message, and they don't want to send a blue message. And I hear that blue and yellow team up to make a green message. That's a story for next time. What Gary and Kamla, Gary want to get in Kamla party. Gary want to get in Kamla party. That's what I hear. And they're going to work together, the blue and the yellow, and they're going to come out with green. They're going to call it the NUNC, N-U-N-C. But that's between them. That's for them. I don't want to know. Trinidadians want to send a message to the PNM, and the irrelevant parties, they're pushing them aside. Now, I know that there are people in this country who will vote UNC not on ideology, not on philosophy, not on policy, but because she look like me, I like she's the lady, and all this kind of bullshit. Nothing about she'll fix my road, she'll fix my street, she'll fix my healthcare, she'll fix my education, she'll fix how the police service is run, she'll fix how banking is done, she'll fix, she won't, she didn't. When she had the chance, she didn't. What they did was to try to take care of business, like Section 34, which was trying to take care of business, like Piarco Airport. But that's a story for another time. We don't have to keep harping and hemorrhaging on the old wounds. Trinidadians know that the PNM and the UNC corrupt to the core. They can corrupt salt. You all know why I would say that, right? Because salt is a measure of incorruptibility. All of you. Google, like the THA presiding officer. Yeah? We need a song. We ain't going nowhere, so we ain't going nowhere. It's done late. We done up. Let me break a dawn. Where say? I don't know what this computer tells me now. Nah, that one playing too soft. There you go again. All playing soft. Everywhere you go, somebody chanting to we. You know why you're not hearing it loud? This Akil Camp's take my system. If you do the crime, you're going to damn well pay. Somebody put in. Is that louder? Satish, I need new speakers for this studio. Why yo? I know you mean well, but how do we know you're not compromised also? And that was asked by War Child. War Child, as beautiful as I am, as sexy, as bright, as capable as I am, I have put aside my life for over 30 years. I have fought for the homeless. I have fought for the orphans. I have fought for the disabled. All three of those groups have benefited handsomely. I never set out to be a politician. I do not stunt. I talk very straight. If I have to turn my back on friends and family to make a point, I've done it. I have been a strong voice. I have written millions of words, more than most doctorate holders' thesis, like Keith Rowley's fake doctorate he just get from Howard University. Literally millions of words. I have stood up for justice. I have stood against the PNM when the UNC was in office, and I stood against the UNC when the PNM was in office. I have been a fighter for truth and justice my whole life. I come from a family. My brother is Dr. Paul Elias Alexander. My mother and father, God rest his soul, were pivotal foundation members of Living Water Community and St. Finbar's Church. St. Teresa's Church, where I grew up. My priests, my nuns that knew me as a child, my school teachers from very young, mothers who knew me in school with their children when we were in kindergarten, our peppers, when it wasn't convenient to be in a third party, they chose to stand with me. Deans and teachers from St. Mary's College stand with us. I could give you more and more reason, but I want to tell you something. If you stick around long enough, you'll see for yourself why Phillip Edward Alexander and the Progressive Empowerment Party is the most politically sexy option we have. Somebody going and take the country far. If you do the crime, you're going to damn well pay. And somebody going and turn off the lights. A bullet at a wine and put an end to their joy. And I want to tell you something. People like Raoul Pantin and Lincoln Myers called me friend. I've walked with the best and the most decent. I have walked with people who have demonstrated civic-mindedness, patriotism, and humility. I am proud to have walked. I walk the tracks the giants cut before me. I'm not begging for nobody vote. I talk straight, so straight that it is easy for others to gang up against how easily I talk truth to power. But that's okay. I'm not begging for your vote, but I am making myself available to serve you with humility. And it's on you. After that, what you choose to do with it is up to you. That's all I could say. I have been serving the people. That slogan, Phillip will fix it, came from people. People was telling one another, hey, forget the rest of politicians, call Phillip, Phillip will fix it. We got that from them. And the list of people that we have helped for nothing. People who will never, let me tell you something, when you dedicate your life to the homeless, the orphans, and the disabled, 3 groups that could never vote for you, you'll understand why my politics was never about stunting. It was never about job. It was never about blue light. It was never about contract. Because I'd be, look at me. Hear me talk. They have anything better than me in the UNC and the PNM. That's not arrogance. That's not hubris. That is not boastfulness. I am bright. I am brilliant. I understand that God gave me a gift and He told me use it for the betterment of my brothers and sisters. But if I was one of these people who took my gifts and used it to feather my own nest, you don't think the PNM and the UNC would have snatched me up by now? You know how many of them offer me seat and job and place? Come now, man. Get your ball and self. The local government election is here. And if you would like to be a part of what we are about to do, this Saturday we screen it. This Saturday we screen it. We finalizing, we fine-tuning, we want to go all the way. We want 141. That means, and we have a large membership, and we have called out our membership, but we also have to open to all the Trinbagonians who are now discovering the political sexiness of Phillip Alexander and the PEP and would like to be a part of it. In all honesty and all decency, all joke and fun aside, if you want to represent your country and be part of a movement for change that could make it better for all of us, come on board. Come on board. My telephone number is 682-2110. It's a 682 number. That's to show you how long I have that phone and how long I have been giving out my number. They tell me stop calling people names and giving people relevance. That's true. So here what I'm saying to you. Be a part of this. Come and see for yourself. They can't fool you forever. Come and see our team. Come and see how ragamuffin the leadership of the Progressive Empowerment Party is. Come and see how straight we talk. Come and hear for yourself. We don't hide. We having a family day this Sunday coming the 11th in Ranchi Nanan Park. Come and meet us there. Join the Progressive Empowerment Party. You will never regret it. It is a time now to end the politics of race. There is no expediency, no amount of, well, you know, when election come on, I'm going to get in the section, all Zandali go jump in the hole. Stop the bullshit. All Trinidadians are supposed to say we want a better country for ourselves and our children. We want health care that works for our people. Too many people have lost too much money because of our shitty health care. We need to fix that. Health care steals $5 billion from our taxpayers every freaking year. Our education system fails the majority of our children. We need to fix that. The banks are taking advantage. I am the one who told you that the banks are engaging in financial warehousing. They no longer put credit in the system. They should be giving you an interest on your account and making it back by lending money into the system. The Progressive Empowerment Party will create financial service regulations that will regulate interest rates in the country the way it is done all over the civilized world. And we will roll back all those fees or charge the banks 110% taxes on it. You cannot terrorize the people with something as important as their money. Clear? And if the banks that are here decide to throw a tantrum, rip off the diaper, pack up the shit to go, we will open the banking sector to every other bank in the world who would like to come and set up here. Due diligence, of course, oversight, of course, but we will make sure where competition abounds, fair prices and options also abound. We need to make sure that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially those at the bottom rung, are treated with fairness and treated with respect. In my world, the poorer you are is the more I have to serve you, because that's what it is. Bob Marley say, when you reach on top, reach down and help those who below. And I agree with that. That's my life. My life has been that. All right? If you would like to be a part, if you want to come, WhatsApp Satish right now, 796-8172. Tell him I want to represent the Progressive Empowerment Party. Or you can WhatsApp me 682-2110. This, what I'm about to tell you here, is very important. Very, very important. To fight 141 of these councils, we need plenty money. Just the $2,000 deposit that they have to pay, you understand? It takes a lot of money to fight an election. Election day, we need observers in all of those booths because the PNM will thief milk and sugar out of coffee. So why wouldn't they thief an election? Look, they thief Michael Jordan logo today. Stuart Young walking out and just thief it instead of just do it. Anyway, hey man, we need your financial help. $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000. All of the deep pocket people who life has been good to, who Trinidad has blessed you, bless Trinidad back. Because all of y'all know, everybody says, love him or hate him. Phillip Edward Alexander is the right remedy and the solution to Trinidad and Tobago. Our policies, visit www.21policies.com and you will realize there is no better, more visionary movement for change in Trinidad and Tobago than the Progressive Empowerment Party. We need your help financially, please. Please, 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 please. You could reach Felicia Holder right now, 769-4590, or you could message me 682-2110 and I'll forward it to her. Over the following nights, because I'm going to live this election, I'm going to be live with you 7 days a week, and I'm going to be on the ball in every department, in every part of this party, getting us ready to fight a war and to win it. Because we went down Debe South to win it, and we came second to the UNC, but we beat the PNM bad. We get 10 times the votes the PNM get, and that is no little bit of licks. That we want to share licks like that, like peanut butter, all through the country for all 141. You could paint the tongue orange, because I want to ask you something. Really and truly, even you could be the most sycophantic diehard in your heart of hearts, in the silence of your soul. Imagine the country if the Progressive Empowerment Party wins all of the local government election. Imagine the country. Imagine the feeling of euphoria and hope the night that the election results are being called and tabulated, and people are saying change is coming. You feel it like a wave. It raises pause on your body. You say, oh my God, free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. Now, only at the local government election level, but it will show them that we're ready, we're really ready for change in this country. But the morning after, two things happen. PNM and UNC, now properly beaten, will jump at every chance at the national level. All of your members of parliament will show up in your yard. You wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. You hear somebody scrubbing with a broom in your yard. You look out your window, what the ass going on? You see a member of parliament with some black disinfectant. Hey, sorry for making noise, but I was driving past and I see some dog shit in your yard and I just thought I would clean it for you. You look in the back and Rowley scrubbing on the sink, on your joking board. Hey, I see you had some clothes here to wash it. Let me just help you out. You know why? Because the Progressive Empowerment Party beat both. They get legs, and they now have a point to prove. All of a sudden, you're going to start to see 1% and contract mafia and then balling, people getting investigated, people getting charged. Because now they have a point to prove. Because the people have a voice and they've exercised that voice. And they show that they will exercise that voice at a national level. And the Progressive Empowerment Party will come and sweep it clean. And they know, so now they have to fight. But also, you will now have a party like the Progressive Empowerment Party in charge of the local government system that has a point to prove, that wants to show you what could have been done with those meager resources all these years and decades, and want to show you what the PNM and the UNC could have done, should have done, but didn't. The Progressive Empowerment Party is our change to the future, our chance at a better life. The Progressive Empowerment Party is not a political stunt looking for a link-up. We in this long time now, and we've been fighting for a better Trinidad and Tobago while others was looking to get paid. If you want a better country, now is the time.
This is a call to the nation. One by one, let's do it together. Let's be the change we want to see. Standing strong.
Hey! I was a first responder. I climbed down in the bridge in Diego Martin and pulled out dead bodies. I was there. I have been fighting for my country for my entire adult life. Ask them. Let we fix it. Build a better TNT. Trust me, you'll fix it. Trust me, you have a point to prove. Trust me on that. Because we voted PEP. And tell them, the time is now. There has never been a better time, a better opportunity. People are disgusted with the current government and revile the opposition. It is a time for real change. Not for these small little timber wolves and foxes that have decided to show up and give themselves brands and only appear at election time to pelt a stone and say, vote for we got try, we got pelt a stone. The Progressive Empowerment Party never stops. When we were dormant after the 2020 election, we created the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. It is the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago that stopped the PNM government dead in their tracks when they were trying to force public servants to take a vaccine. The Progressive Empowerment Party has never stopped fighting for you, and we won't stop. We have more reason to prove a point than anybody else. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, now is the time. Until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.